Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast Musicians of the Day. Today, I'm your host, Amare Gregg-Ham. Today, I'll be sitting down talking with Samuel Vargas. He won Sput Sphinx competition. He also founded his own foundation. He also is the concert master of the Lengrede Symphony Orchestra. And we'll be talking about his heritage, his storytelling, and his changing of the classical music world. Please welcome Samuel Vargas to the stage.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, Samuel. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. So let's first talk about how you grew up in Venezuela and how you started the violin.
So I was born in Venezuela and I started the violin when I was 11. Before I started on the violin, I used to be a singer, and that's how El Sistema discovered me. It was through singing. I had a number of concerts. I had recorded for TV and for number of CDs and productions. Um, So at one concert at the age of 10, one of the members of El Sistema for that particular city in which I grew up um, approached me and he asked me if I knew what an orchestra was. And I said, yes, of course I know what an orchestra was. And he asked me, what's your favorite instrument? I said, the violin. And he said, do you know what El Sistema is? And I said, no, I don't know what El Sistema is. So he said, where are your parents? Can I talk to your parents? So then I brought my parents in and he told them, please bring him to our music center of El Sistema program. It's for free. I want him to see what the orchestra is about and all the children that made a part of this program. So I think that, yes, that concert that I had was on a Thursday. And then by Monday, I was already visiting the program, and by Tuesday, I was already an official member of El Sistema.
You were
And
moving fast.
yeah, I think I was very excited and very happy, and I started taking like skills classes and theory classes, choir, and a number of classes before you can actually acquire an instrument. And because I come from a very challenged background when it comes to like socioeconomic status and all of these things. My family could not afford a violin for me or an instrument. So after about 6 to 7 months within El Sistema, then I was able to be loaned a violin.
Oh, okay.
So I started on the violin when I was 11, and that's how my journey started. So I think more than 90% of the kids who join El Sistema, they receive instruments from the program. So
Right.
there's no need for students to buy their instruments. They are more than welcome to buy them if they want, but it's a very amazing program open to everyone in which you have not only the music education, but also the access to instruments and this kind of resources. And I think that it's important to mention that this program runs from Monday to Saturday, and it's from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, and then from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Saturdays. So it's very intense. It's very intense. And it's very, when you compare it to any music program in the US for kids, it's very intense.
Yeah, it sounds intense.
Yeah.
So, what does El Sima stand for? El Sits.
So El Sistema would be the direct translation of the system. So I
Okay.
think etymologically, we would be talking about the system, the conglomeration of different strategies and methodologies that made something what it is. So it's like it's it's more about the philosophy of El Sistema being music a tool for social transformation and a tool to rescue kids, and as a social program, a platform to help communities and society in Venezuela.
That's amazing. And and then you went to the U.S. correctly, right?
So I was in my country, and then at the age of 14, I was chosen as a concert master of the National Youth Orchestra. So I had the privilege of playing with Daniel Barenboim and Simon Rattle when I was
Oh,
14, playing Mahler symphonies and a lot of other repertoire as well as solo repertoire.
mm,
So I had that opportunity, and that's how the founder of El Sistema program actually saw me for the first time. And he fell in love with me, and he allowed me to have a scholarship that was very exclusive for me to be flown to the capital to have violin lessons. Because I think it's very important to mention that I didn't have my first private teacher, my real violin professor,
yeah.
until I turned 15.
Okay.
So during my starting point until I turned 15, everything was taught by those who knew a little bit more from the same program in that city. And it was like a little bit from this person, a little bit from that person, but it wasn't like the traditional private teacher who will work
Yeah,
with
like a set
you.
teacher.
Correct, correct. So my first teacher like that was at the age of 15. And it was thanks to me being named concertmaster of the National Youth Symphony Orchestra. My violin
Is
professor, yeah,
is that in Venezuela or is that in America?
that
The
was in
national.
Venezuela. I didn't
Okay.
come to the US until I was 21.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so I turned 15. I am doing a lot of, repertoire, putting together the understanding of violin playing and technique and repertoire. And then by the age of 16, I was chosen to travel outside El Sistema. This had nothing to do with El Sistema.
Okay.
Um, as a soloist, so it was my first international tour. So I went to Canada and I performed Rondo Capriccioso and Sibelius Violin Concerto with,
Oh, Sibelius.
yeah, Prince George Symphony Orchestra, and then I also had the opportunity to be with Vancouver Symphony, and I also met Del Baltrop, the concertmaster of at that time the concertmaster of Vancouver Symphony. I taught lessons at the St. James Music Academy in Vancouver. So it was an amazing experience for a 16-year-old kid, right? Then
Yeah, it sounds amazing.
particularly coming from Venezuela. Then I
Hmm.
go back to the country, and then the founder of El Sistema asks me to audition to one of the main three orchestras in the capital. So I had already finished my high school. I graduated from high school very early at the age of 15, turning 16, and because I did what we call like high school equivalency. So I took my last year as a test, so I skipped that year, and I was able to just graduate early. Um, so I auditioned to one of the orchestras, the one that was in my age range, because I was too young to be in the Simon Bolivar Orchestra. So I became a member of the Teresa Carreño Symphony Orchestra. And then with that orchestra, I was in about six different tours. So I had the privilege of going to more than 40 countries from the age of
40.
16 to the age of 19. And in 2014, when I am 18, I came to the US for the first time. And that's
Okay.
when I play at the 69th anniversary of the United Nations. So I was the
Oh,
concertmaster of the multinational orchestra of the United Nations, and I had the opportunity to play with Lang Lang at that concert. And
oh,
it,
wait, you were the concert master in 2014 at the United Nations.
yeah,
I saw that video before. There's a video online that
yeah,
I watched before.
that is online. Yes, that is me. And that's funny enough how many violin professors here in the US found me. That's how they find out about me. And then
Yeah.
they reached out to El Sistema and they wanted me to come study here, also to Europe. And I did a lot of things to come and then study abroad. But because of what happened in my country between 2013 and 2015, with the death of the former president, then a lot of things became very difficult. So people couldn't leave the country, and there were a lot of different circumstances that didn't enable me to leave the country at that moment. So I stayed, and then I decided to dedicate myself to entrepreneurship, and I founded like international festivals, different chamber orchestras. I really wanted to help the people from the city and the area in which I was um, from, like where I grew up. So I always had a heart for teaching and for helping others. And
Yeah.
then um, at the age of 20, Professor Sergio Schwartz, who is the violin faculty at Columbus University and also Lausanne Conservatory and Mozarteum, and like he's one of the members at the Bowden International Festival, etc. He reached out and then he said, "We want to offer you the opportunity to apply for the Woodruff Scholarship, which will cover absolutely everything, including getting you out of the country to come here." So that's how I came to the US when I was 21. I did my bachelor's in music performance, and at the same time, I got a certification in English because I didn't speak the language when I came to the US. So I speak other languages, but I didn't speak English. And I did then my
No.
master's and all these other things. So I came as a non-traditional freshman, of course, because by the time I got here, I already had acquired a
Yeah.
bachelor's in my country. So it's like I had two.
Yeah. But you got more education.
Of
That's
course.
always great.
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
love we love getting extra education. Everybody can use extra education. So, and then you won Sphinx. What year was that you won Sphinx?
I won Sphinx competition in 2021.
2021. So how was that? How was that doing the Sphinx competition?
But it was really challenging for many reasons because we were kind of like getting out of COVID.
Yeah.
And of course, everything was, still correct. So it was an amazing experience, and I had already participated in a lot of other competitions before, and I had already done like major international competitions in Europe, and my professor had already made me take some competitions here in the US. So by the time we got into a Sphinx, it was really super cool to see that there was an organization that opened doors um, for all of us, and to have that access was really awesome. So I think winning the Sphinx competition added a lot to what I was already doing and all the solo
Yeah.
schedule and things that I was doing. And my foundation comes into place before I win the Sphinx competition
Okay.
because
Yeah. I found out about you with the Sphinx competition. I saw you perform on YouTube, and I found a video, and I said, "Hey, that guy looks familiar."
yeah. So I actually funded my nonprofit because of the pandemic. So when the pandemic happened, a lot of kids in Venezuela and in many other Central and South American countries could not access music education, not only because everything was shut down, but also because there was no access to like online platforms or things like that for music. I mean, Zoom was just coming out, and even though there were things like Skype or WhatsApp video calls or things like that, we didn't have a platform that would be functional for music, right?
Yeah.
So what we did was to create a platform in which students could actually access different workshops and conferences and teachers, and pairing them in their own cities so that they could find a way to continue their education. And one big aspect of my foundation was collecting donations of accessories and um, instruments for students to have access to music education.
So the violin that you currently play on right now, we talked about is a loaner instruments,
Yeah.
and we talk about how loans instruments are. And so, what would be the biggest thing about you trying to go through these loaners to find the instrument for you? Would you say that that's the best route to find a instrument for your exact person?
I think that, well, I actually bought my own violin when I won the Sphinx competition.
Okay.
And the thing is, as soon as I started um, playing more and more and having um, bigger exposure in terms of the orchestras that I was playing and the work that I was doing, a lot of collectors and people started taking an interest in providing the best instrument for me to perform. And one of the people who advocated for me the most to always have a good instrument and found ways to get me better instruments was actually my mentor, was Sergio Schwartz.
Mm,
Um, I think that from the time that I arrived to this country till now, I've probably played on about 15 different violins that belong to him. And he doesn't like to admit it, but he is kind of a violin collector himself. And I was, for the longest time during my bachelor's, in love with his Jean-Baptiste Guillaume
mm,
from
um,
yeah, from 1860, which was a Messiah copy that later I played on. So the video that you saw of me with Anthony Panther,
mm,
that violin is the Viome. So I played on that instrument for about a year and a half. And then before that, I played on a Bisiak. I also played on a Bergonzi at some point, and then I also played on a um, Pedrazzini and then a Pederson, and then so it's like I went from a lot of instruments, and then right now I'm playing on a Giuseppe Bonora from 1890,
Giuseppe.
which we don't know if it's actually a Giuseppe Bonora
Oh, you
because
don't?
no, because Bonora was born in 1888, so there is no way
Yeah.
he built the violin when he was 2 years old, right?
How would it?
Yeah, so it's the violin is going through some kind of like discovery, but is a loan from him actually. So I'm very happy and I'm very blessed to have all these instruments to play on and to be able to showcase my own sound and my artistry through them.
Yeah. So your sound project, Skywalker. Let's talk about that.
Okay, so I just got back from California. I was recording the first half of my album with a number of Grammy winners for a commission that I made with 3232 Music to Sam Ryder, who is a Grammy nominee composer from the Bay Area, which wrote a piece for me inspired in three Venezuelan folk tales.
Mm,
So in these folktales, I wanted to be able to showcase all the different talents and abilities that I possess. So for this music, I am both singing and playing at the same time,
oh,
and
that's fun.
I'm also narrating and storytelling and whistling. So there is a lot of things. It's a very
Mm,
interactive, almost kind of experience, very immersive. And I am super honored to have been able to record this production with one of the top cuatro players from my country and the world, Jorge Gren, and many other artists like Elvis Martinez and Juan Diego Villalobos and Angel um, Salas. So the whole concept of it is three movements, and each one is the storytelling of one of those folktales. Um,
okay.
and then it goes from different genres of music combined with classical music. It's that combination between folk music and
Classical.
academic music, classical at the highest level and the most virtuosic kind of approach. So, just to give you an example, at the in the third movement, I have a duel with each one of the instruments because
Okay.
the story is about a man who is challenged by the devil to a kind of like musical duel.
Okay.
So
So
every
like
one
the
of
culprit
them.
out of Georgia.
Correct, correct. Yeah. So it's like each one of them represents the devil, and I am trying to beat each one of them with every instrument, trying to do it better. And then at some point, I pray in the story to the Virgin Mary, and then I'm singing and everything, and then I play a violin cadenza,
Oh no.
in which I beat the devil finally, and then we finish the piece. So it's like super super extraordinary, and it's gonna be released
Yeah.
around the end of October and November on its videographic format, because it is a audiovisual production. So it was both audio recorded and like video. So it has like all of these things of the performance live.
Yes.
So I'm very excited about that.
I'm ready to see it. It sounds very fun.
It is.
I like pieces that are very focused on telling stories. And you also have some singing in there, narrating, talking, and like all the contemporary whistling stuff. So it's very fun to do stuff like that. Especially I did a piece. What was it's a contemporary piece that a teacher of mine wrote, and it's amazing. It's a lot of storytelling and a lot of So you narrate like while you're speaking. So it's like and then it's be calm, relax your mind, and then it's like narrating what you should do to the audience. And then the audience can also join in sometimes at points, which is also fun.
That's
Crowd
very cool.
participation.
Yeah, of course.
So, how do you feel about the classical music world and how people try to figure out how to phrase this right? So, how people perceive the classical music world. How do you feel about that? What changes do you think we can make to the classical music world to make it more accessible for all musicians, all everybody in the world to come and enjoy classical music more?
Um, I think it's a very interesting question, because for me,
Hmm.
where I come from, classical music and music in general is for everyone.
Yeah.
I am an example of someone who comes from a system that was open to everyone, regardless of their social status or their economic resources. So for me, I never saw music or classical music as an elitist type of form of art. It was not until I came here and until I went to other
Yeah.
countries that I realized, oh, that's a thing, you know.
Yeah, like here in the U.S., I think it's a big problem that we have, and also I know in Britain they're also having some problems with that too, like elitists. Um, I was just saying, do you know? Have you you have like any ideas that we can do to make it more fun and more enjoyable for the listener, not just people just sitting down and watching? Because as we're moving forward, a lot of people don't like to do that now. So how do you think we can move in that position to help people like that?
So I think that music by itself has the power to connect and to
Yeah.
communicate emotions, right? So
Yes.
that's our job. We are communicators, and we are using sound as our medium to connect with others.
Yes.
I feel like as soon as we start allowing ourselves as artists to not see the stage of a concert hall as the only platform in which classical music can be shared, then a lot
Yes.
of people is going to start appreciating and recognizing that we don't belong only to that space, that we actually belong to the people. And I feel like because we are in a digital era in which everything gets consumed through social media and through every single digital platform, these days it's very easy just to find whatever you need with a click, you know,
Yeah.
particularly with AI, right?
Especially.
So So we're talking about how to make it more accessible, and I think music is very accessible. I mean, I can find
Yeah.
anything out there. I think that what we actually need to take care of is how do we ignite the curiosity of people?
Yes, yes. How can we
Because
bring people in to come watch us?
correct, and how are we programming things? What are we playing? What are we
Yeah,
actually trying to promote? And I think that that's very, very important. For example, for me, doing this production and playing this music is a way to honor my culture, my roots, where I come from, and the music that I make. And that combination between a very amazing violin training and you see a competition winner, concert master of an orchestra, faculty at the university playing such a high level piece
yeah,
that encompasses a lot of different elements that go beyond violin playing. I think that a lot of people is going to resonate with that, and I didn't do it with the purpose of making music more accessible. I did it because I wanted to communicate a story. So I think that
yeah,
as long as we have purpose and the music gets shared with others, we are
yeah,
always going to be serving people.
yeah,
The other thing is, I don't think the changes are going to be the responsibility of one person. I think that
yes,
it is the responsibility of the entire system, and people uh, might need to want that, might need to want that
yes,
change to happen. But it's very important. I mean, we see now orchestras doing a lot of movie scores and now doing a lot of pop concerts and things like that, and this cross like fusion
yeah,
of different genres and things. And we see a lot of young population coming to concerts when they are featuring particular like educational programs or things like that.
yeah,
So it's really cool. I think we're doing great. I think we need to see a little bit farther than just the
yeah,
constable. It's like going to
yeah,
school, becoming a musician, and then the only thing that we want is to be a soloist. But there is so
yeah.
much more than that.
There is so much more. It's not just being yours. It's not just performing for yourself. It's performing for the people that are out there. I truly believe that when the U.S. Constitution say for the people, serve the people. I believe that musicians are actually for the people. We are supposed to serve the people, and we just have to do that. As becoming a musician, I believe every musician loves everything about people. I truly believe that because you're really doing a act of kindness when you're a musician. Um, and you have to really put your whole heart into an instrument actually like go up on stage even like if you didn't care about the people who you were performing to, you wouldn't go up on stage and perform and let them have a good time. So so I do believe that every musician wants to um let people hear them because that's how they make their money too. So so we're gonna go to a lightning round where we have you don't think about the question, you just answer.
Okay,
So, what is one item that you cannot travel without while touring?
my violin.
Well, you need that. You
Yeah, I
need
think
that island.
I think I will forget my clothes and my suitcase before I actually forget my violin.
Yeah, I. You really need your violin because then you won't be able to play. That's a big one. That's a great one. I never got that question before. That's the first time I got that one.
Of course, because everyone is probably thinking outside the instrument, but for me,
Yeah.
that's the most important thing. You know,
Who's your favorite non-classical musician?
my favorite non-classical musician. Whew.
Yes.
Well, I love Adele.
Oh, I love Adele. Yes.
I think her music and how she served different generational um, demographics and kind of like every single album that she releases is a reflection of a stage of her life, and that resonates with a lot of people. It's super amazing. I think she's a wonderful human being.
So, if you had to join marching band for one day, which instrument would you choose? So no one will recognize you.
Probably the drums. I want something to hit.
Yeah. Which section in the orchestra? So, like when you're like a soloist, which section in the orchestra is the loudest that shouldn't be at all?
Oh wow. When I'm playing as a soloist,
Yes.
I think it depends on the repertoire because it changes. Like I mean, it
Yeah.
depends. But probably I don't know. I don't think.
Trumpets. You
I don't
always
think.
got the trumpets.
Well, yeah, I was going to say like maybe brass, but I've been blessed enough to like have an amazing, and I also love like big sound coming from the orchestra. It's so inspiring. So I've never
Yeah.
thought of like,
Yeah.
oh, who is playing louder? Yeah.
And then like the timpani, you can also hit good with the timpani,
Yeah,
like you did in the video.
yeah, exactly. You can play with it. You can communicate with
Yeah.
it.
If you can fire one note from the musical scale forever, which one would you fire?
The upper
I mean,
tone.
which key? Which key would you fire? Which key would you fire?
Oh, which key?
Yeah.
Oh my. Um, G flat major.
Oh no. Yeah. That
Maybe.
that
I
can
don't know.
go.
I love all of them. Anyway,
Can you name three Taylor Swift songs? Go.
three what?
Three Taylor Swift songs.
Oh,
Go.
three Taylor Swift's. Oh, none.
Come
Sorry.
on. Come on. We're classical musicians. You're supposed to know this.
Nope.
What about three Sibelius pieces? Go.
Three Sibelius pieces. I mean, his violin concerto, his nocturne for violin, and then his symphony. Yeah.
Which symphony? Which one is the best?
Number two.
No, yes, yes, yes. What's your overall favorite symphony? Or the one
Uh,
that you love to perform the most?
oh my goodness. I grew up playing Tchaikovsky Fifth Symphony so
Oh,
much.
yes, I love Fifth. I
And so it's like so beautiful. That second moment, it's just like so beautiful. But
the
then, but I
Fifth.
also love Mahler Five. So
Smaller, yeah, smaller.
yeah.
Favorite violin concerto, one that you can perform every day for the rest of your life.
Oof. Probably Morgante Violin Concerto, the one written by Andres Martin.
Yeah, that one is pretty good. I would love to actually play that.
It's
I'm
really incredible. I told you, you need to just DM him. He'll.
yes, I did. I emailed him for it. He said to email him, so I did that.
Awesome.
What's your favorite traditional Venezuelan dish or comfort food?
Cachapas.
What is that?
So it's like corn that you like ground or like you use the pre-made flour,
Hmm.
but it's like sweet corn, and then you mix it with I don't even know what you mix it with, like milk or some other thing. And then
So,
it's like, yeah,
so
this is embarrassing. I don't even know how to explain cachapas. And then just put like cheese, and then you flip, and it's so thick and it's so beautiful. I mean, it tastes so good.
sounds good. I just don't like the corn part. If the corn wasn't there, I'll probably eat it.
Okay,
Corn is not my favorite.
I see.
What is one thing every violist can learn from a violinist?
Confidence. I think we actually have too much of it.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
We we love confident. I'm very confident. Like
yeah.
if I hit a note, you gotta hit the note. If it's a wrong note, you still gotta hit it.
I mean, violas are extraordinary. I mean, I also love the instrument.
Yeah.
I just hope they can trust themselves more.
Yeah, I really love the viola. It's a very good chocolatey sound. Like you have a viola sound.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm being told. Yeah.
Yeah, if you can play a duet with anybody, living or dead, who would it be with,
Oh my
and
goodness,
why?
Janine Jansen. She
Yes,
is my idol. Yeah, she's the
Janine
only,
is my favorite. Janine
and
is my favorite.
she's the only one I've never met.
She, you met Hillary?
Yeah, I've met Hillary, I've met Anna Sophie Mutter, I've met Maxim Benkarov, I met Zuckerman, like all of these people, amazing people came to my country. Like I even played for Ray Chen at some point, and like all these people. But then Janine Jansen is the only one I've never met.
Yes, I
If she
wish.
sees this at some point, please
Yeah,
let me know.
she needs to come to the U.S. Janine needs to come to the U.S. I
Yeah,
need to go
travel.
watch her concert. Great concert.
Yep, I love her.
Okay, I have two last questions.
Okay.
Best post concert meal.
Oh my goodness. I usually get like the Atlantic salmon with like mashed potatoes and like Brussels
Yes,
sprouts or like green beans or something like broccoli. That's like what my
yes,
go to after I have a concert is like, oh, I
yes.
love that.
Those are I love salmon after a concert. Mashed potatoes and salmon. Like a lot of people, I notice a lot of people get salmon out of their concert. I don't know why, but that seems like a big meal.
Yeah.
And what composer do you think is very underrated that nobody really listens to, but they should be listened to?
I mean, there are just so many, but again, because of my background and because of the way that I see music, I actually try to promote music as music and promote composers as composers,
Hmm.
regardless of like if they are underrated or not underrated or like
Yeah,
underappreciated. So for me, it's like when people ask me why do I play Florence Price on my repertoire, or why do I do her violin concertos, or why do I
I love
play
Florence Price.
or Boulanger, or like all of these things, or like why do I go back to it, and why I don't make a big deal like, oh my goodness, I'm playing a female composer. No, because I think that the way to actually bring them back and to make their music come alive is actually play it, and is
Yeah,
bringing it and sharing it with other people. So that's
not
why.
play it because of what their background is, but play
Correct.
it because
Because of the
it's
greatness of their music. It's the
yeah,
same. I played Coleridge Taylor violin concerto, and I was the person who actually suggested to the Sphinx competition, this should be the violin concerto required for the competition. And then they started using it the year after, and the year after, and the year after. So it's like
yeah,
wonderful piece, and same thing with other wonderful composers and repertoire. And this is why I'm so big on playing new music and having these composers write violin concertos for me. So far, there has been 5 violin concertos dedicated to me by extraordinary composers. And one of the main things that I always have as a condition is that they have to be melody based. They have to convey a story, and they have to
yeah,
be connected in a certain way with the personality of the player, and in this case that would be me. So
yeah.
that makes me very happy, and advocating for that for people and for music is part of my journey.
I feel that if there isn't no story in a piece, then it isn't a piece. It isn't because it's just like you wrote down notes. You didn't put no meaning behind it, and I feel that music really is about meaning and about purpose. Um, and if there's no purpose or meaning behind it, then how am I supposed to give when there's nothing to give.
Correct. I
Yeah.
agree.
So my last, I final question: what are some advice you could give to up and coming musicians, younger musicians that want to become the musicians of today, like you?
I think we are in a time in which we are trying so hard to be like someone else, and we are trying so hard to follow the path of like the idols and the people that we look up to, and we forget to actually go the other way, to the
Yeah.
inside, and go in a journey of self-discovery and understand who we are and what our values are and
Hmm.
why we do what we do. And I feel like at when a musician is going through that route and then they are able to find themselves, their identity, their own sound, they have already accomplished and conquered half of the journey.
Yeah.
Because then they are going to have something to say and something to share, and the journey is going to be very hard and very challenging. It's very competitive. Sometimes it's not fair, but the world is big enough for everyone to have a voice and have a space for them to communicate. And ultimately, for me, I do music because it makes me happy and it allows me to connect with people, build relationships, go places. So I see music more than a platform to become, this figure or like whatever, expectation of fame or recognition. I do it because I love seeing students eyes bright up when they are able to find the sound that they want. I love it
Yes.
when a program flourished because of the support that was given to them, the reaction of people in the audience when I play a solo concert, the after concert talk, being able to share with people. All of that means
Yes.
a lot to me, and that's why I do what I do. So I believe that if upcoming musicians and people who love music start connecting with music because of what it means to them and how they see their purpose through it, they are going to have a very not just successful but very satisfactory life. It's like they are going to struggle a little bit less through the
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah. If you stop looking for trying to get to that level of like say Hillary Hunt, because everybody wants to be like Hillary Hunt. So it's instead of trying to get to that level of Hillary Hunt, try to get to your own level.
Yeah.
Try to build your own, and
Yeah.
that's
And do it at the best of your capabilities. I mean, it's
yeah,
about excellence too, but I think that looking for perfection is a bit complicated. I'm sure that if you ask Hillary, she's not gonna think that she is perfect.
yeah,
So if that's the ultimate goal, then I think it's already very miserable to go on
yeah.
that route.
But what happens when you meet that goal? What happens when you become as so good as Hillary? What happens when that do you just stop? What like that's my thing. When you achieve that goal,
Mhm.
what do you go? What is beyond that goal? You
Yeah.
you have to think about the future of your actual. If you're gonna actually be a violinist and you actually want to be this successful musician, how what's the goal past becoming perfect or
Yeah.
good at your instrument? What's past that? And I know my content is supposed to not be taken literally. Uh, it's very just fun and out there for people to have fun and laugh and not see that classical music is not just this strict uptight thing. It's people put their whole life into this, their whole soul into this music, and I feel that if you don't have the emotion in the piece, then what are you doing? What are you doing?
I agree. And I think that once you reach that level and you have fulfilled that goal, then I think you have to reconsider, okay, how happy was I through the
Yeah,
journey, and how do I feel, and was this the end? I see myself as an eternal learner, so I will always
yeah,
keep learning, and there is always something to
mm,
improve and to develop and to do. So for me, the process is endless, and there will always be something to practice. And
Yeah,
I think that the only thing that will keep me away from that is probably going to be that.
yeah. Did you do it because you wanted to be as good as Hillary, or did you do it because you loved it and because you truly loved it and wanted to spread it throughout the world? That's that's the best thing. What's one good quote that you have?
Um, Jehudi
Off the dome.
Menuhin, Jehudi Menuhin said, "Music is the reflection of the best within all of us. That's what we call humanity."
Great
So
quote.
that's a very close quote that I have with me every day.
Can I say I love your background, your picture? I love
Oh,
that picture.
that was a gift from my mentor, Sergio Schwartz. That's actually a painting made of him in 1994. Yeah,
1994.
yeah,
That was
by a Colombian painter. Yeah, so it was a gift that he gave me um, when I became a faculty member at the university.
well. Thank you, Samuel, for showing us your artistry, your community impact, and talking to us about what it really means to be a actual musician of today.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure, and I'm very happy to see you doing these things and bringing joy to people and making people laugh and making people fall in love with the violin and
Yeah.
realize that the challenges are real, but that when you do it for the love to it, then it's so worth it.
Thank you again. Yes, everybody. We just want to thank Samuel Vargas for coming on. He didn't have to be here today, but he did to join. So I just want you guys, if you are, just clap for him in spirit. Thank you guys for watching. You guys can also go follow Samuel Vargas on Instagram. It's Samuel Vargas, I believe. And then you guys can also go follow me on Instagram, Amare Gregg-Ham. If you watch this, you probably already follow me on Instagram. But thank you guys so much, and y'all have an amazing day. Thank you.